And hello, we are just heading no Blog Talk Radio intro right now. We are skipping that because we're not live on Blog Talk Radio. Although if you do, I think if I do have it set up correctly and it is works, we can still hear it. You can still hear it is what it is. I can't, but I think you can.
It is what it is.
So, thank you, Donald. If in fact you did hear it, you can let me know. Anyway, so welcome. We are doing a special episode of Liberal Dan Radio Talk from the Left That's Right on Thursday night because we are awaiting the streaming of the whatchamacallit, of the presidential debate between President Joe Biden and convicted felon Donald Trump. And we will be doing it RiffTrax style. As you see, I have Joel and Tom Servo and Crow right next to me, watching along with me for the presidential election debate. I'm doing it very surreal-like because I'm watching the CNN debate on the MSNBC feed, so that's kind of weird, but we'll see how that goes, at the moment, I have MSNBC muted so it doesn't stream over there, so I can do things like, play the intro to the show and not have to worry about it playing or whatever. Anyway, to support the show, please remember to like the video, comment, interact with the stream, share the stream with your friends, have them join on in. A whole bunch of different ways also you can help the show by going to going to Twitch, follow over there, going to Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/liberaldanradio, also facebook.com/liberaldan, but I'm not using that one as much. I thought it was better to have all of my handles being the same. Lots of, I guess, good reasons for that, I suppose. We have the game that I just pinned up. Again, if you want to play the game, want to do something, on your PC, this is a PC-only game. I already hit level 11 since Tuesday. So, of course, I kind of grinded through it, and I'm a gamer, so I guess I would know how to do it, but I do have streams of me doing it live over on my nerdydan.com stream. You have things like downloading the game and installing it gets me some money. Getting to level 7 gets me money. Getting me to level 11 or getting you to level 11 makes me money. And also buying the first legendary package, which is like if you get your first legendary character, $4.99, it gives me $25 towards the show. So it's one of the most money efficient, bang for your buck ways of contributing to the show. But you can also contribute by being a Liberal Dan Patreon, patreon.com/liberaldan or patreon.liberaldan.com. You can be a member, a Liberal Danimal here on YouTube, or subscribe on Twitch as well. If you have Amazon Prime, subscribing on Twitch doesn't cost you anything. Venmo, Liberal Dan on Venmo. buymeacoffee.com/liberaldanradio, or just go to liberaldan.com, click the buy me a cider button. I do have myself a cider right here, ready to go, locked and loaded, so to speak, for all of the shenanigans that might go on in this debate. I've seen a couple of amusing bingo options that people might be using. We did come up with a few drinking game options. President Biden says malarkey. Anytime Trump says that Biden was behind the New York prosecution, or any of the prosecutions, really. Anytime Trump says, sir, weaponized DOJ, or like nobody's ever seen. Anytime Trump makes up a word. Anytime Trump brings up Hunter Biden. Any mention of the out-of-control border. Or anytime that Trump brings up J6 political hostages. Those are ways that one could play a drinking game with this. Aaron grabbed a beer for a drinking game. I'm hoping to not be completely intoxicated, inebriated, fit-chased, drunk by the end of the show, but we'll see. We'll see,
It is what it is.
Thank you, Donald. It's kind of weird having to do that without being able to hear it, because both my headset and my and the other thing and the thing that's connected to my computer are both Bluetooth enabled, so I'm not able to hear that because I'm not connected through there. So anyway, what was it? My wife Cassie sent me one as well. Sent me a bingo card. As we're sitting here, we got about 4 minutes left to go. There's another bingo card. I guess if you want to play bingo, there's various bingo cards. This one is more simplistic. Bingo. Guns, MIT, illegals, battery, drugs, woke, sharks, Jan 6, disaster, wall, believe me, everyone says, the free space, kill babies, MAGA, patriots, sir, election fraud, crime, Hannibal Lecter, shower, vote, socialist, border, and cognitive tests are all the numbers on that particular bingo card, which is interesting. We also have, there was another, let me see if I can pull up the other one real quick, because we got about another 3 minutes before, the stream starts, supposedly. Apparently, they're going to do a hard switch over to CNN. It's very weird to be able to watch CNN on MSNBC, but, you know. Thank you, Donald. But it was we were talking last night a little bit about this idiot who's mostly, I think, on TikTok, but they have the older millennial who talks about stuff, and he had a video today where he was complaining about the fact that there's a 2-minute delay or a 2-minute dump, buffer or whatever on today's debate, and he's like, well, why are they doing that? Is if they want to delete out a Joe Biden, flub, or if they want to delete out something that, edit out something. And I'm like, no, you schlub. They're having a 2-minute buffer because they don't want to have Donald Trump putting out there a huge curse word filth laden tirade in the middle of a live debate that's going out on channels that may very well be regulated by the FCC. That's why they're doing it, not for your crazy reasoning. Now, granted, sure, Joe Biden could also say it because, Joe Biden, I think, was it after the Affordable Care Act got passed, or is when he said it was a big fucking deal or whatever, and he said that, kind of over a hot mic, and okay, fine. Joe Biden is also capable of saying words of curse, if you will, but, I think it's only because waiting to see if Donald Trump does, anything ridiculously horrific over the air. Let's see. There's this other bingo card that doesn't have a free space, so they're not mean, or they're mean, I guess, the people. There's Trump references. This is from BJ's Lounge on Instagram or whatever. If you want to go look up BJ's Lounge on Instagram. BJ's Lounge Presidential Debate Bingo 2024. Trump references fake news. Biden references loan forgiveness. Trump bashes NATO. Biden says, here's the deal. Trump equates immigration with terrorism. Trump attacks Hunter Biden. Trump insults a moderator. Trump references witch hunt. Trump defends Russia. Biden says convicted felon. Trump rejects two-state solution. Biden says insurrection. The free space is Trump says crooked or sleepy, which may very well be good enough as a free space, so who knows. Biden references stimulus package. Trump says nation with no borders. Biden warns of national abortion ban. Biden is muted by CNN, which technically I guess they're always going to be muted by CNN if their green light's not on, but I guess technically if they go over and they get muted, I guess I think that's kind of a one. If you do that one, you're going to get drunk too fast. Trump bashes China. Trump says very, very. Thank you, Alice McGee, for the follow over on Twitch. Candidate has a health crisis on stage. That's just wow. Biden says threat to democracy. I would say existential threat to democracy. Biden references personal loss. I guess referring to any of his, children dying or his ex-wife dying, maybe. Trump muted by CNN. Trump blames Biden for inflation. Trump says, beautiful. So that's all of the things on that's the bingo. Now, do we have the bingo card also be, do we have the bingo card, also be the whatchamacallit? Does the bingo card also act as something that we should have for the for the drinking game? I don't know. Some of those things, I think the muted by CNN, muted by CNN, I think those things are just out of control. So, but we can always I'm trying to do something real quick before. Let's see. We have about a minute and 19 seconds before the first presidential debate of the 2024 general election season. And Janelle, we will be drunk. Let's see if I can pull this up and then kind of import the image. File, open. Bingo card. Oh, my son is just obsessed with crawfish. My son is obsessed with whatchamacallit. He is absolutely obsessed with whatchamacallit, with eating crawfish. Alright, so let's see. File. Save. Let's see if we can bring this up. Bring this kind of window up. I don't know if I want to do it just like that, but I don't know. Let's see. How do I do it? I don't know. I'll just have it open as the bingo card. Just so we can kind of reference it. And if some of these things I think are also worthwhile to take a drink at. So follow. So Aaron goes, we've started. So have they started on CNN? Or, because according to MSNBC, it's not started yet. Or hold on, wait, jump to live. Am I not? Did I scroll back? Oh, there it is. Hold on. Okay, we're going. We're a go. So here we go. Oh, it just froze on me. I mean, he didn't say bleach, he said disinfectant. And I am very much having very much delay on my stream. What the hell? It's done. Biden wins. Him mentioning the bleach in his stream. Why did I... There we go. That's a good point. Prescription drugs. Trump supposedly tried to do something on prescription drugs, but it only affected, like, 1/3 of 1% of all Americans, maybe. I'm much better off under Biden than under Trump. Until Biden came along, and Biden now has the greatest economy in our country. Your fault? No, you didn't. No wars because you ceded to Putin. You ceded control in the Middle East and power in NATO to Putin. What mandates did Biden create? Hey, Hunger Critter TK. Our country is better at inflation than the rest of the world. Damn. It's not going to drive him higher because I don't understand how taxes work or how the economy works. It all depends on the price elasticity of demand of the good being shipped in, you dummy. Regulation cuts doesn't mean anything. Are they? Just because you cut a regulation doesn't mean it's good or bad. A bunch of people. No, you weren't. You had no plan. You set a date. No, that was when you were inaugurated. Or the insurrection. Convicted felon Trump. Because I'm one of them. That's why I should pay less in taxes. No, you gave tax cuts to like AT&T and they did stock buybacks and then layoffs. Jeff, why does Trump slather the hair over the top of his left but not his right? Because he's a dumbass. And then you bungled the ball with COVID. You didn't leave them with a distribution network for the vaccines, and the vaccines that were created first were not part of the Project Warp Speed. Because you set the bad example. Any deaths that If somebody died on January 20th at 12:01 p.m., Trump would blame Biden for it. That's how dumb that argument is. He doubled the amount of vaccinations he wanted to put in arms by July. He said, like, what is it, 100 million, and he got 200 million shots in arms? There you go. Weaponized DOJ, take a drink. What? You know, the people who are conservatives are like, oh, there's Dementia Joe. No, he stuttered because he has a stutter. What? Says the man representing the party that wants to privatize Social Security. Okay, sure. He didn't finish the sentence. The clock ran out. Are you now? Yes, says the man who's an actual criminal. How could you allow criminals to come to this country? How can Americans allow a criminal to sit in the Oval Office and, you know, be commander in chief of people who can't serve as felons? Why should we believe you? Everybody. No. Lie. If we did take a drink whenever he lies, that's a drink, but we're not doing that because everyone would die. No. No. More than half the nation didn't want Roe v. Wade overturned. We just had dumbasses who allowed you to be president because they didn't think the Supreme Court would ever do it. Because when the voters were given the opportunity, the voters said we want it legal. Put it in the hands of the voters and they want abortion legal. It's activist conservative Christians who are trying to take choice of body autonomy out of our hands. What about the health of the mother? What about the health of the patient? No, that is a huge lie. Sorry, dumbass. Nobody's doing abortions after birth. You can't. That's murder. It's literally murder. Yep, Nerd Misha says the mother should be punished as well. I'm getting some really bad internet. Oh, border. That's a drink. And if they're raped, these laws in these states, like Texas and Louisiana, would not allow the people to go get an abortion. No, because abortion didn't happen in, dumbass. The Hippocratic Oath. How old is the Hippocratic Oath? Everybody want. No, you're such a lie. I'm freezing again. How? That's the only thing. The only abortions that take place in the third trimester are the ones that are a threat to the mother, a threat to the patient. It's not happening. It's a lie. Only when the threat of a threat to the person who is the patient is at the life or the extreme health is at risk. Trump got muted. Trump and the people who advise Trump have talked about frickin' concentration camps. Bring that up, Joe. We don't even know what the real numbers were when Trump was president. I don't believe them. Why would I believe any numbers that came out of Trump's mouth? Because when he was president, he wanted to reduce the testing because he doesn't like real numbers. People. Oh, there you go. Equating the immigration with terrorism. That's from that bingo card. Take a drink. He did need legislation because he tried to take some actions and the courts were like, no. I won't say it. They endorsed me for president. I won't say it, even though I just did say it. Trump. Every state is now a border. What? Yeah, exactly. We're an uncivilized country. We're an uncivilized country if we vote you in. Like nobody's ever seen. There you go. That's one. What? Where'd that come from? Where did that come from? He doesn't care about the military. What choice you got through Congress? What choice did you get through Congress? What is this word salad that Donald Trump is saying? Talk about dementia. Mentioned personal loss. And let's remember, everybody, what Donald Trump said about people who died in the cemeteries. What was in it for them? Yep. There you go, Joe. People, what's in it? What was in it for them? Nobody's taking better care of our veterans. Maybe we should drink every time Trump plays the invisible accordion. Ugh. My internet's being stupid again. Oh. Hunter. New report details multiple instances of President Trump making disparaging remarks against U.S. military who have captured or killed. Trump made his comment about McCain, about he likes people who weren't captured. Why wouldn't we believe that he said other disparaging things, especially when a general says it, 4-star general? Staffers from National Security Council and Secret Service told Trump the rainy weather made helicopter travel risky. Oh. He didn't want to visit the cemetery because it was filled with losers. I'm sure they do. Ugh, what is this problem with my stream? Putin would have had invaded Ukraine potentially because you would have given him Ukraine. You just said, oh, just go walk right in. Did Putin tell you this directly, Donald? Purple. Trump would have tried to sell it. The reason Israel was invaded by Hamas is because you gave Russia the intelligence that Israel gave you, and then Russia gave it to Iran, who gave it to Hamas, you dumbass. Terra. Malarkey. Here we go. We got our first malarkey. And Trump set the firm date. Uh-oh, he's going to get in trouble with Daddy Vladdy. Like nobody's ever seen. Because we made promises to Ukraine when they left the Soviet Republic. We said, if you leave, you have to give up your nukes, and if you give up your nukes, we'll protect you. If we don't follow through with those promises, no one will ever trust the promises again. Before you take office, then why not settle it now? What happens when Daddy Vladdy tells Trump, I want Alaska. Give me Alaska back. I would like to have it. Trump's like, Belarus, I don't know what it is. It's a made-up country. Thanks in part to Trump. Of course, Netanyahu's going to lie that he didn't. I must be under a delay. Trump did the best job I've ever seen. No one's done a better job. Like everyone, nobody's ever seen. That's a drinking point. Well, that's nothing new. That Trump has no idea what he's talking about. I'd have to see. Trump said that Biden is right for saying, I'm not going to support NATO. I'm frozen again. Oh, a bunch of people believe that, Donnie boy. January 6th has nothing to do with the border. It has to do with your terrorist followers. Your domestic terrorism. Exactly, just what I said, Aaron. Weaponization of the DOJ. Take a drink. You said it would be wild. You didn't do anything. You sat by and did nothing for hours while people invaded the Capitol, attacked the Capitol, and you threw ketchup at a wall. She didn't turn him down. That's a lie. You're their commander-in-chief, dumbass. You asked them to be there. You said it was going to be wild. You said stand back and stand by. She never admitted that. AP fact check. Pelosi did not block the National Guard from the Capitol. J6 political hostages. They're so innocent. How are they innocent? There was a MAGA person in Minneapolis who, or a Boogaloo boy that burned down a police station, but go on. The unselect committee. There's a made-up word. Unselect. Made-up word. Ha! Convicted felon. When I take a drink is when everybody should take a drink. That's the drinking game. Drink when I drink. Stand back and stand by. Yeah, you said that, Trump. Don't shake your head. It's what you said. You said stand back and stand by. You didn't say stand down. Oh, you just spun. That is not what you said. Much less times than you were convicted there, Trumpy boy. His son's not trying to be president of the United States. You are. You said Hunter. That's a drink. Mentioning the border as a drink. That's not what happened with Ukraine. You are jumping around all over the place avoiding the answer, but that's not what happened with Ukraine. The entire world wanted the Ukrainian prosecutor put away, and the timeline doesn't match up the conspiracy theories. Because he's not presidential. He's like, I don't care. Millions. No, wasn't pregnant. They got that wrong. Then why did he pay her? Exactly. Why did you? If he didn't have sex with her, why did you pay her? Exactly, Trucker John. Yeah, Biden, you have the morals of an alley cat. I don't know. That's very insulting to alley cats, President Joe Biden. Because you're in a cult. You lead a cult. That's why you got money, because you're in a cult and they're cult followers. If you told them to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, they'd be like, yes, sir. Hypocrisy is a conservative prerequisite. At this point, yes. Mm-hmm. And some of those are very fine people. That's right. And there's no fine people on the side marching with Nazis. Period. Period. Trump can never stay on topic. Worse than any other candidate I've seen. He made up the Charlottesville story. What are you talking about? What? It's a good point. 44 people and his vice president haven't endorsed Donald Trump. Why is that? Ooh, we're hitting a commercial break. Maybe I can catch up on the stream. Because holy crap. My incoming stream is terrible. Or you can stay on Liberal Dan Radio, talk from the left, that's right. Let's go ahead and mute that. Alright. Time for you to get another beer. Have you finished your first beer with all of the hits on the drinking game there, Aaron? I love the Biden line about Charlottesville. No, clearly Donald Trump specifically said that there are good people on both sides. And there's no arguing this point. If you are on the side marching with Nazis, you're not on the side of good people. There's no good people if you're marching next to a Nazi. Kick the Nazis out, or make a separate parade and march the other direction from the Nazis. Say, we don't want you here, Nazis. F you. You can't be on the side of a Nazi and then think you're a good person. I think, Trucker John, when you said Biden sounds a little hoarse, or I think Biden is trying to be. I think he's trying to be subdued, because sometimes I think he gets pushback whenever he starts with the loud Biden voice, because there's like the soft, demure Biden voice, and then there's the loud Biden voice. Because we saw the loud Biden voice for a second when Biden allowed himself to get angry when he was, telling his malarkey about, the troops and everything with Biden. And when Beau Biden was relative or related or relevant to the topic of conversation. So, I mean, there's several stutters that he's done, fine, and I'm sure the conservatives are going to be like, oh, well, there's Dementia Joe, he looked terrible and weak or whatever, but I think if you look at word salad, Donald Trump has had so much more word salad in this debate than Biden. Biden hasn't really had word salad. Only time I think something was a little bit confusing was when he wasn't allowed to complete a sentence because he ran out of time. So that's my point. Sam Adams, eh? That's not A, that would be Canadian brand. Your friend from Boston. Should I run an ad because we're doing ads right now? That'll be funny. We're in the middle of an ad. Let's do an ad right now. Oh, no, they're back now. Crap. Maybe Joe will get I have to wait for that thing to scroll up for me to see what you said, Chad. Oh, Joe got a Red Bull and pull himself together. I only think they're allowed water. I don't think they're allowed anything else on stage. Oh, he said student loans. That's a drink. And I couldn't scroll because it was being covered by the red and there's nothing to scroll. He didn't cause the inflation. You caused the inflation, especially with your gas deal, dummy. I wish Joe Biden would listen to Liberal Dan Radio, talk from the left, that's right, or maybe Dude, because that's Dude is the only other one that's talked about the whole Russia OPEC deal that screwed American oil purchasers or gas purchasers. Oh, I see what you're saying, Chad. Thank you for the manual scroll. I'm surprised Trump hasn't insulted the moderators yet. Trucker John, I think that the rules of the debate state that the moderators are not allowed to fact check the people who the debatees or the debaters. So the only way that people can address the lies is when the candidates address each other. Whatever. So Biden has to state his own points, plus be the fact checker. I think this is why Biden requested this to be so early, so there could be an off-ramp for different candidates if he buried himself. I don't necessarily think that. I mean, you have the debate now because he has sentencing coming up in July, on July 11th. So you need to, if you want to have a debate, you need to make sure you get a debate just in case New York sends him to prison. I created so much climate crisis with the stuff I put in my hair. No. He referred to the criminals that were being predators, super predators. That doesn't mean he was referring to everybody who was black as a super predator, you dumbass. There was another side to that where they actually lost out other things. So you can put, shoe shine on a turd, it's still a turd. Are the blacks? There's my black right there in the audience. That, as he said in one of the campaign stops. People. Like nobody's ever seen. That's close enough. Did you? We had the best H2O. Nobody has had better H2O. In fact, I made it H3O. They made it up? They made up that statistic? I just think that 99% of the people that don't follow politics won't be too impressed with how Joe Biden... But are those people watching the debate? That's the question. Trump also flopped on clean air in general. According to the Associated Press analysis of EPA data, it shows a 15% increase in the number of high air pollution days in the 2 years of the Trump administration as compared to the last 4 years of Obama. That's a setback from a long-term decline in previous 4 presidents. So Trump did not do well with clean air, according to that, what I just found. Does the invisible accordion count if it's only half an invisible accordion? Or do you have to do the whole invisible accordion in order for it to count for the invisible accordion? This whole debate for Trump has basically been migrants, migrants, migrants. Yeah, because you want to save those things, right? Half stroke on the accordion is fine. Old Donald half-stroke Trump. A half-stroke is also how long Donald Trump lasted, according to Stormy Daniels. Oh, I don't have a yeah button. I could do an air horn. Sorry. That is the Aaron horn, yes. But I had to substitute the Aaron horn because I don't have the other sounds that I would want. I could have just used it as what it is, I guess. Amen. Hallelujah. Preach. Trump is like, why did I think of that? That sounds like a good idea. Here's the thing, Chad. I don't think that President Biden would have run for re-election had Donald Trump not tried to run for election again. I think he would have either let Kamala run, or there would have been an open primary where Kamala would have run in the open primary. I don't think Joe Biden would have run for president again, except for the fact that Donald Trump is running, and Joe Biden feels that he's the best shot to defeat Donald Trump because he already did it. Wait, your gutter mind, Chef, hasn't flared yet, even when I talked about the half stroke? It does kind of look like Donald Trump has had half a stroke in his brain, too. I just took a drink just to take a drink that time, so that's not something for you to take a drink. By the way, the cider I'm drinking is my alcohol of choice is from Broad Street Cider. They're not paying for this, but when you buy me a cider, that's where the money goes. liberaldan.com/.com, go to the buy me a cider button, click it. Oh, laptop, that's a mention of Hunter Biden, technically. Drink. Why does Trump think there are 3 Russias? Here's a fun fact. When an undocumented worker comes in, but they're paying them a paycheck, they still have to pay the FICA tax on their paycheck to the federal government, but they don't collect that money. Because they're not here, they're undocumented, so therefore they can't go claim Social Security on the money they've paid into it. So guess what? They're helping to bolster Social Security, technically. They took their gerbs. Childcare. It's abortion, so you have more kids, so you get more bang for your buck because you get a group discount by having more children because you don't have abortion bans anymore. He drained the swamp and replaced it with a swampier swamp. Hara. The Hara Show. Oh, mentioned border again. You're going to get drunk off of this simply by the mentions of the border. And I'm just sipping. Is that one of the ones? No, because presidential scholars said it. Border. There you go. Donald Trump would never give us the true numbers on the border because he didn't want us to have the true numbers on COVID either, because he wanted to reduce testing. Again, I'll always bring up that point. He told us he wanted to reduce testing because if you have more testing, you have more cases. You still have the infections, but you get those cases revealed via more testing. He didn't want us to know the real number of cases. Why would I believe he wanted us to know the real number of people crossing the border? We have polling. We have other things. It's the best polling. No one has better polling. I'll be the best president at killing the country. The money was brought back into our country and went into the coffers of the rich and the wealthy, not to the working man. Again, that all depends on the price elasticity of demand of the good that's being talked about. If the tariff is on a good that's price elastic, then the people who are importing the goods might have to pay that cost. But if it's price inelastic, the people who are buying the goods will more than likely have to pay the cost. And I just checked the numbers according to the American Action Forum. Research, June 25th, 2024. Trump's 10% tariffs, projected impacts on households. The estimated impact is $1,700 to $2,300 annually on American families. So there you go. He's going to talk. I'll close the border. China. What? Trump bashes China. That's on the bingo card to making a part of the drinks. It's tremendous. Nobody's done better. Like nobody's ever seen. They're going to buy our farms. Oh, destroying our country. I don't believe I don't believe Donald Trump anything on his numbers when it comes to what crossed the border during his presidency. I don't believe it because he wouldn't want people to know the real numbers. Ugh. My internet is being stupid. Ugh. You have the Force, Trucker John. The Force is with you. All right, I'm switching what I'm watching the debate on. Hope maybe that'll be the difference. Maybe that's better on YouTube instead of on DirecTV Stream. Or maybe not. Now I'm completely frozen. Lovely. Ugh. This is completely frozen now. Oh my god, my internet's being... and computer is being so terrible. Your lighter, you've lost brain density, is that why? Oh god. Person, woman, man, camera, TV. We are really slow now. My computer's really effing up. I don't know what the hell's going on now. Yeah. Trump's so proud of that cognitive test. It's such a shame how, you know, it's so easily mocked. Ha! Happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Brilliant. I mean, this is a little bit childish. We don't believe you. It was strong. Nobody's made a stronger statement. Yeah, I don't believe you're right, Trucker John. I don't believe Trump will ever accept any election he loses. He couldn't accept that he lost California in 2016 when he won the presidential election. You would have run for office regardless of how good or bad he was, and he's much better than you. The only reason you're here is because you want to be able to cut off the prosecutions at the federal level. That's why you're running, because you don't want to be prosecuted at the federal level, and you're hoping to be able to run out the clock and then be able to fire everybody who's coming against you, and then have the Department of Justice say, hey, you're not going to prosecute me anymore. The only reason Trump would have drive us into World War III is because Donald Trump is more than happy to cede power and just give up the world to Putin. All those people you praised when you were president. You wanted military parades in your honor like Kim Jong-un does. Chad, who do you think won? I'll cover that in a little bit. Short version of it is simply, I don't think anybody won this debate. I don't think Biden gained any ground. I don't think Trump gained any ground. I think everybody who's going to vote for Trump is voting for Trump. I think everybody who voted for Biden is voting for Biden. I don't know how many people who are undecided at this point had their minds made up from this debate. If it's a fair election, but it's never going to be a fair election in your mind. You were going to run as soon as people started prosecuting you. That's why you ran. Don't lie. Your cult supports you. Because all the claims are being made by Rudy in public couldn't be made in court, or otherwise he'd get in trouble. Contempt of court. Something snapped at him when he lost California, even though he won the election. I'd have brought that up too. All right, they're going commercial break now. Let's go ahead and hit an ad insert. There we go. We'll insert an ad just there. So I'm actually watching it on my personal account, on my personal account, and it looks like I got like 2 5-second ads, or yeah, I'm watching it on my personal account. It looks like I got 2 5-second ads that streamed for me. I don't know what happened for anybody else, but you know, as Trump says,
it is what it is.
Thank you, Donald. Exactly, Trucker John. Donald Trump has lost 60 times in courts about the claims of election fraud. There's been no proof, again, because any of the proof that they brought up when it came to, you know, showing in public, you know, this is what we think went on, when they went to the courts itself and they had to present it to a judge, they couldn't, because once they started doing that, it would have been a lie and people would have lost their law licenses. All right, Chad, good to see. Good to see that it was 2 6-second ads. Good to see that it was very short. I mean, currently it looks like I only have 8 viewers at the moment, and one of them is me. So, one of them is me on my phone, just trying to make sure that things are looking right. This sounds kind of like Wrecking Ball, the CNN music, because I'm watching it on CNN now. Came in like a wrecking ball. I would never do that one in karaoke. Oh. And I just took a drink for no reason. Well, the reason I took a drink is because I was a little thirsty, and the cider from Broad Street Cider is really good. It's like I don't know if I was talking about this on Amber Rose's live before my show yesterday, or if we talked about on Amber Petrovich's show when she came on yesterday on the podcast, was like, her belief is that like alcohol is the new opiate of the masses or whatever, and I mean, it's fair. I mean, you know, I don't drink a lot. I mean, I do go to cider, you know, maybe once a week, maybe once every other week, depending. But I drink the things because they taste good, not necessarily because I want to get drunk. Now, of course, making a political drinking game, that's a whole other thing. Yes, Trucker John, some of them have lost their licenses, like Rudy, because Rudy couldn't help himself. Here's the thing, and maybe we'll talk about this once the debate's, if the debate's over soon. I don't know. Oh, closing speech. After they make their closing arguments, we'll make a comment about that. I know they're back. And oil, gas prices. Of course, now I'm freezing again. And he can only do that if you elect him a Congress as well. You need to retake the House from the Republicans. All right, there's the accordion. We'll drink for the accordion for Jeff. You caused Israel, you dumbass. You were responsible for Hamas ultimately getting a hold of the intelligence that Israel showed you. You gave it to Russia, Russia gave it to Iran, Iran gave it to them. Trucker John, I think child tax credit also in the CHIPS Act helped both to do that, lift people off into poverty. Largest tax cut in history, and especially for the wealthy. Permanent for the wealthy, not permanent for the poors. One of the only things I agree with Donald Trump is the right to try. It's one of the only things he did that I agree with. That's not enough for me to change my mind. Stop clocks and all, right twice a day. Clocks are more correct than stop clocks are correct more often than Donald Trump is. All right, so there we go. That's the end of the presidential debate. We just watched, we did a live stream RiffTrax of the presidential debate here on Liberal Dan Radio. Talk from the left, that's right. As to winners or losers of this debate, in reality, I don't really think anybody who is voting for Biden is not going to stop. They're not going to stop voting for Biden. Anybody who's voting for Trump is not going to stop voting for Trump. I'm not sure if any independents were swayed by this debate. I think Donald Trump looked like your typical whiny, making up things as he goes along person, but the realities of his of another Trump administration would be an existential threat to the United States of America. If I were to criticize Biden on his debate performance, especially on the close, overall, but especially in the close, he should have mentioned student loan forgiveness more. He should have managed to bring that up more because the student loan forgiveness package is huge. Helps lots of people, including myself. He should have brought up, whenever Trump brought up inflation, Biden should have brought up the horrific oil deal that was negotiated by Trump between OPEC Plus and Russia in April, I think, of 2020, when oil prices were just plummeting and it was harming American producers. And Trump had to do something at that point, but Mr. Art of the Deal made a horrible deal, and what happened was that he said, let's cut barrels per day, millions of barrels a day from Russia and from OPEC, that y'all going to cut your production into 2022 with no caveat for increases of production. No caveat for increases of production when demand increased. That caused inflation to skyrocket because that caused gasoline prices to go up, and gasoline prices are price inelastic to a point. There's a certain amount of driving that maybe you don't take extra trips with your car, but there are certain amounts of driving that people have to do every day, and so you have to make a choice. Do I drive to work if I'm not working from home, or do I have to do something else? I give up something else that I want to do because I have to pay for these exorbitant gas prices. Biden should have brought that up. I think Biden did bring up the CHIPS Act once. He should have brought it up again in the close. Should have brought it up again. He should have doubled, tripled, quadrupled down on the CHIPS Act for what it's done to the benefit of this country and for the economic security of this country. So Biden did miss some things that he could have jumped on. I don't think he lost. I don't think anybody lost or won this debate, though. I don't think anybody hit a home run. I don't think anybody struck out. I think it was Joe Biden and Donald Trump saying the things we expected that Joe Biden and Donald Trump were going to say. I don't think anyone gave the other one a knockout punch, but I don't think any of them took a knockout punch either or did any stumbles that are going to harm them in the polls. Some people in the chat have said that maybe Biden was very, softer spoken, but Biden has to play that game of, do I be angry Joe? Do I be dark Brandon, or do I be soft spoken Joe and speak to the American people instead of fighting Donald Trump? I think he chose the speaking to the American people for the vast majority of the time, except for when he brought up Beau and the claims about what Biden has done with the military and with Beau and that legislation that was passed because of the burn pits, and how Donald Trump has absolutely disrespect. That's another thing that Biden should have brought up, maybe even in the closing as well. The disrespect that Donald Trump has consistently showed the military over the course of his political career. So again, no knockout blows for eitherbody, no snafus or unforced errors by anybody either. The conservative people are going to talk about this, and they're going to say, Biden, he might have stumbled a little bit verbally, ignoring and call him Dementia Joe, when in reality that was just his stutter. And on the inside of the coin, there were several instances where Donald Trump did seem to suffer from some really bad word salad, but that wasn't picked up enough. I don't necessarily know how much that's going to be picked up by the people. So, no real winner, no real loser. I think it's kind of a status quo debate. I don't think we're left with any sort of changed Maybe the polling data will show me wrong. Of course, it depends who's running the poll. But I don't believe the whole state of the race has changed at all. What do you think? Agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. Remember to like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. And of course, that was just me recording my beliefs for quick upload when I upload my results to that. Trump's eye with her bloodshot I watched on Big TV. CNN is already saying Joe is done. Well, CNN is saying lots of things because CNN is controlled by a billionaire conservative at this point. Trucker John, Biden need more Mountain Dew. Biden be like, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew! I don't think Biden was incoherent at all. I think Trump had more word salady moments than Biden. Biden has his stutter, and people don't accept the fact that he has a stutter, which is problematic in and of itself. So yeah, CNN is terrible. Maybe I should flip over to the MSNBC stream again just to see what's going on that. Biden looks so awful pale. I don't know. Maybe that's the lighting, though. I mean, I don't know if I can blame the lighting on Biden. You know what I mean? Let's see. MSNBC Live. I typed it wrong, but I'm sure YouTube will fix it for me. I don't think that. Let's see. I don't believe MSNBC is live on YouTube, so I might have to flip over to watch something on DirecTV Stream or whatever if I want to see how MSNBC is reporting it. Of course, I could always watch it again later just to see. But, and you're free to disagree, Chad. I mean, that's what we have the show for. We have honest debate about the issues, and it is what it. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Thank you, Donald. Anyway, let me I do want to check one thing first before we. I don't necessarily want to sign off quite yet, but we will. Let's say no. Trump looks like the ring in your toilet before you clean it. Well, there's that. Yeah, Trump doesn't have the good looks. Let's just say. The whole thing of I was about to be a little bit disappointed in Joe, simply because of the fact that it sounded like he might have started to get a little fat shamey, and even for as much as I hate Donald Trump, the only time I'll pick on him about weight was if he does it first. I don't believe in fat shaming. I think he kind of reeled it in at the last second and didn't go as far as he could have gone with that. We all know that Trump lies about what his weight is, what his height is, what his health is, physical or mental. We all know that. The problem is that most people, especially people who are obese, lie about their obesity. I don't talk about the exact numberage of poundage that I have on my frame. I rarely talk about that number. I rarely state that number. My number on my driver's license is clearly false. So, thank you, Chad. I appreciate that. But, yeah, I can't sit here and say, yeah, let's support things that are said about people that are hateful and vile, when we're saying those things in relation to their size or any other issue with their, physical health, simply because of the fact that, the people who hear that are not just the people who are, the ones you're attacking. It's everybody else as well. When you hear people, when people hear like politicians and other people making comments about like Donald Trump's obesity, and they're obese themselves, they're like, well, I see how you feel about obese people, and it sends a clear message that shouldn't be sent. That's why we need to deal on substantive issues. Now, when it comes to being president, if you have certain mental deficiencies, that's relevant to bring up, but a stutter ain't one of them. And that's the one thing that I've lost a friend or two over them insisting that they're leftists who back in 2016 were insisting that Biden back then, or no, 2020, that Biden back then was having mental issues or whatever. I'm like, he has a stutter, and they refuse to just accept the fact that Biden has a stutter and has dealt with his lifelong stutter for his entire life and works with it, but sometimes the stutter creeps its way back in. And I called him out on it because I'm willing to call out people on the left as well as people on the right when they're being horrible, and I lost friendships over it. So Suzanne, Trump was high as a kite, cause he's gonna be high as a kite tonight. Janelle, Republicans are gonna have a field day. Republicans are gonna have fun with regard. Biden could have hit the home run, made the knockout punch, completely decimated Donald Trump. Which again, I'm gonna say he didn't do it, but Biden could have absolutely decimated Donald Trump on this debate, and Republicans will be like, oh, he lost. He was terrible. Dementia Joe was terrible. He lost the debate. Donald Trump won. It doesn't. Facts don't matter to MAGA supporters. Facts don't matter to these conservatives who are die hard in the wool. You know, I'm sure there are some people that are voting for Trump that will eventually vote for Trump that are not cultists. Fine, but there's a whole bunch that are, and the cultists won't care about facts. Their feelings don't care about the facts. To flip it around on you. So, what is MSNBC saying? I don't know. I turned off DirecTV because let's see. DirecTV now. Let's just see. Let's pull them up and see. I'm trying to also keep YouTube open and kind of refresh it to see when Hal goes live, because I don't want to butt shows or whatever. I don't want to say, oh, let's continue talking and doing our show while Hal's live. So I mean, I'm sure there are other people that are probably live. Let's see. First presidential debate hosted by CNN on MSNBC. So here we go. Let's see if we can get actually video without issues. Of course, it's storming outside. If I happen to lose anything power-wise, signal-wise, it's because it's raining like crazy outside at the moment. So you don't hear rain. You don't hear the rain.
I'm playing Rocket League.
I know you're playing Rocket League, but it's raining. It's raining outside. Let's see. I literally think that I literally think I missed MSNBC bringing up the oil issue. Let's see. I'm going to rewind a second just to see. Let's see. Lawrence is talking right now. It's a...
That was you.
It's still kind of stuttering on me. It might be because some people are playing games, but I'm not going to stop them from playing games simply because I want to do a stream. Let's fast forward a little bit more just to see. Joy Reid. No, I just skipped the same part. Let's fast forward 30 seconds. Or rewind 30 seconds just to see. I'm not getting a copyright. You can't hear MSNBC right now, can you? Oh, it's a different oil thing. I mean, Joy Reid may wear a lot of makeup, but that's probably because of the fact that we live in a patriarchal society that doesn't allow people to be women and not wear makeup. Now, I'm sure there are men on that stage who are also having some sort of makeup applied simply because of the fact they're under lighting or whatever, but you're going to want to have people who are going to be made up because of patriarchal standards. That would be my idea. So according to the MSNBC, there's a Biden aide who's saying on the debate that it wasn't an ideal start, which, fine, I'll accept that. I mean, I said that. It's not, the debate wasn't... Well, Aaron, you don't need makeup. You're naturally beautiful. I think Henry just gave me a look. Did you just look at me when I said that? Why? Henry's laughing over here because I made that comment. Henry doesn't know how to show emotions or feelings, though. Henry doesn't say I love you to anybody. I don't know why that is. Are you laughing still? Henry's about to pee in his pants because he's laughing. Do you need me to go get you a diaper or something because you're playing a game and you're going to pee your pants from laughing? Imagery has taken over what, Lawrence? Aaron says, I love you anyway, Henry. He's laughing now. Hal is on Boston Brian right now. Oh, okay, is that why I don't see him here? Because he's on Boston Brian. Hope he's not hurting him. Ching. I don't know if I follow Boston Brian on YouTube. I should, if I haven't yet. Well, there we go. There's Boston Brian. All right, well, if Hal's on Boston Brian, let's go ahead and end this podcast, and we'll go ahead and let's all go watch Let's all do a Liberal Dan raid of Boston Brian's live. How about that? So, anybody, thank you for watching my stream. Appreciate everybody who joined. We'll be back at a regular time on Monday, unless for some reason tomorrow there's a Supreme Court ruling that I want to talk about, like immunity tomorrow, that at some point I'll be live tomorrow. Otherwise, normal time, Monday, 8 p.m. Central. Thank you all so much for joining. Appreciate it, and have a great rest of your night.
Shit.
What?
3 podcasts in a row.
4, because I had Nerdy Dance stream on Tuesday as well.
I said podcast.
I know. And if there's something tomorrow, I might do another one tomorrow night.
What?
If there's another one, I might do another one tomorrow night.